All right, so this is just We the People News one more time. Okay, so just to spell it out for you to understand, this is the YouTube channel Freedom, UNCHAINED. Okay, uh, Hale versus Hinkle. Okay, it's never been overturned still to this day, and it's been used, but people are still using attorneys and using this in the wrong venue, wrong standing, because they keep using attorneys. All right. Let's go ahead and proceed forward on this. This is going to be my take. I'm not a legal scholar or anything like that. I'm not an attorney. I'm not giving legal advice. I just never look straight forward. I always look around me to be able to protect myself by any means necessary, people.
Hale v. Hinkle, conceding that the witness was an officer of the corporation under investigation, and that he was entitled to assert the rights of corporation with respect to the production of its books and papers. We are of the opinion that there is a clear distinction in this particular between an individual and a corporation, and that the latter.
Okay, we're going to pause right there for a second, right? This case is really kind of separating the two, even though it says individuals, but there's the two different type of individuals, right? You got the corporate individuals, and then you got men and women individuals, right? I have inalienable rights as same as y'all. I am an individual to you, but not to the corporate body. Okay, but I mean, this is a court case right here. What does it say? Corporation, don't it? Just saying. It says corporation.
Has no right to refuse to submit its books and papers for an examination at the suit of the state. The individual.
Yeah. When you get pulled over, what's the officer saying first? Do you know why I pulled you over? And most people say yes or no, whatever, right? Well, I need your driver's license, insurance, registration. Okay? Sit and think about that, y'all. You just incriminated yourself. They are using everything against you in court. They created a statute, codes, rules, and regulations for you to incriminate yourself to bypass the standing of the Fifth Amendment and the Fourth Amendment. Okay? And we're all complying. When we go to court, you need to put in there not guilty, no contest, or guilty. Well, wait a minute. I'm here today, um, you know, innocent until proven guilty. You don't even have to say that. Well, you always ask questions. Well, ain't I innocent until proven guilty? Well, yes. So if I fill this out, am I or am I not incriminating myself before court? Right? So if you make any type of plea there, right, you just incriminated yourself, people, without knowing and all that kind of stuff. You made a claim. So they're making a claim you're speeding. However, when you went in there and said, I'm not guilty, or I'm going to plead no contest, or I'm guilty, you made the claim. The burden of proof is on you now, right? They tricked you. The courts are tricking you because they're the claimant and you made a claim. So now the burden of proof is back on you. Oh my gosh, people, you can't make this up.
May stand upon his constitutional rights as a citizen.
All right. May stand on the Constitution. Right? That's what I've been saying. I don't have constitutional rights, but I can stand on it. All right? I'm going to stand on the Fifth Amendment. Now, remember, when you make these deals, you want to be clearly spoken about it, right? So they cannot be misleading, right? Well, you sit there and just stay 100% in silence, right? Well, they're just going to misconstrue this. Do I have a right, or, officer or anybody else, if I say anything, will you hold this against me? Yes or no? Right? Just saying. And yes, they will. Number 3, above everything else, if I have a right to contract, I have a right not to contract. Now, what makes the number one thing, if it was not a commercial capacity of like speeding tickets, right? Explain to me how any entity can force you into contract if you don't have to contract. Well, you must have insurance, right? They're saying you've got to contract. You're forced into a contract with another business. All right. Wake up and realize on some of these things. All right. Uh, Normal people out there, which some of y'all out there, right? You have a driver's license class C, but it's a class C CDL. I have a class A, or did. All right. And there's class B, and then there's class C, but it's still commercial, right? You must have that class C to be a delivery person, like a pizza boy or a taxi or anything like that. But when you go to the store, you do not need it. Okay, you're not in commercial capacity. And this is the trick, right? Ignorance is no excuse to the law, but the cops are ignorant. You cannot sit there and just dispute. You're building a case with the officer, and hopefully you have your ducks in a row when you do the courts. Now, the magistrates and all that is a corporate body. They're there for one person, one reason only. People, it's for the business entities. It wasn't designed, well, it was, but it wasn't. For us, that's not a corporate body. All right. The magistrate saying, hey, McDonald's need to cut their grass. And, this is the ordinances and all that. That's what the magistrate technically is for. It wasn't for you on your property of grass.
Entitled to carry on his private business in his own way. His power to contract is unlimited. He owes no duty to the state or to his neighbors to divulge his business, or...
Right there. Boom. Supreme Court, right? 1906, never been overturned. So, in short, if I got a business license, I am part of their entity. I am bound to their statutes, right? Because I gave consent to operate and grow my business under the statutory limitations. Okay? But if I have cars that come on my property and did not never get a business license, that is a private contract between me and the guy that may have his car to be washed. Okay? And it's not income. It's exchange, my time and labor, for banknotes, maybe something else, or, uh, giving me a TV for my time and labor and all that kind of stuff. So we need to wake up and realize public and private. Now, I know people out there don't believe in these things, but right here is what it's saying. People, this is not me. This is Hale versus Hinkle saying it. 1906.
to open his doors to an investigation, so far as it may tend to criminate him. He owes...
Open the doors to investigation. What is CPS doing? It's a third-party interloper trying to force their will against you. Right? And when you consent, what are you doing? You're consenting. So if they do find anything wrong and they write it down on their piece of paper, you gave them leverage. And the courts are so crooked in family courts, they're going to go by their deal. So you must know what you do without an attorney. People, attorneys are not your friends in most cases. All right? Whether it's by their ignorance of the law, or either by their greed of profit. But when you've been committed harm and by way of trespass, it don't matter one way or the other, knowing or unknowing, when you're victim, you're still a victim.
No such duty to the state, since he receives nothing therefrom beyond the protection of his life and property. His rights are such as existed by the law of the land long antecedent to the organization of the state, and can only be taken from him by due process of law, and in accordance with the Constitution. Among his rights are a refusal to incriminate.
According to the Constitution, right? Uh, when they take your car without a warrant, is that accordance to the Constitution? No, it's not. They confiscated your private property without due process. Did you get to see the judge before they took your property, your car? No. Where was the due process when they confiscated your car? It don't matter if you have a driver's license, you're in the corporate body, or this, that, here, and there, right? Where was the due process from the very beginning when they took off with your car? Where is it, people?
Himself and the immunity of himself and his property from arrest or seizure except under a warrant of the law.
Except from the warrant of the law. Why are they bypassing the warrant, people?
Nothing to the public so long as he does not trespass upon their rights.
Let me back that up a little bit.
The Constitution. Among his rights are a refusal to incriminate himself and the immunity of himself and his.
There you go, right? Long as he does not trespass upon their rights. What are they doing, people? You explain this to me. Am I wrong? I'm not an attorney. I'm not giving legal advice. I'm just thinking outside the box. Okay? They just confiscated your car without the due process and without a warrant. Just saying, people. Till next time. Bye, y'all.